We're going to start this month's news off with some vintage-style commercials from Games Workshop featuring some JoyToy action figures, which I think look pretty darn good. Let's watch.
About it. It feels like the whole world is going crazy for the Horus Heresy.
Oh my god, they really are. It's what a lot of people in my chats have been talking about. They're absolutely right.
Lay siege to your senses. Lay siege to your imagination.
Yes! Oh, look at it! Okay, legitimately though, I love the fact that they were like, hey, you know what everybody's really nostalgic for our personal like product?
From the Drop Site Massacre.
The 80s and 90s style stuff that we used to do. So let's go ahead and use these really cool, very detailed JoyToy action figures in these fantastic 80s style toy commercials. Look at them. So good.
You fool, right?
You fool!
Understand my grand designs.
Now you can let loose the wolves of Fenris.
Oh, yes, let loose the wolves of Fenris.
They blame the father.
Well, I blame Father, I do.
I blame Father too. Father is definitely to blame.
Warmaster Horus.
This one
Of the 16th
is probably my favorite, the little clip that we get. And we actually get to see the full commercial in a minute because they actually made 2 full commercials for this on top of this full-blown ad that they did advertising the Horus Heresy. And you might be thinking, well, they use this JoyToy action figure. Wait till Father hears about this. I love Magnus. I love everything about everything that they did in that commercial. Now, they did actually do full-blown commercials, though, for 2 of the ones that we saw little clips of in that first trailer. So I want to showcase those as well, because I genuinely think they are fantastic, and I want more commercials like this. I don't know who in Games Workshop's, like, production division decided that this was going to be a good idea, but they need a raise and a round of applause because I love it. Like, I love these style commercials from the 80s and 90s, and I want them back so badly. Look how cheesy it is. It's so good. And I just want to see this all over the place for, like, every JoyToy action figure that they come out for. Like, that would be great. It would probably get very old. It would probably get very old. But I think it would be genuinely amazing. And I have him. He is amazing. Rogel Dorn is stunning. Thank you, JoyToy, for sending that to me. I really appreciate it. Holy cow, cannot talk enough about how awesome the JoyToy action figures actually are. Now, none of these are actually new. These have all been out. Horus and Dorn have been around for a little while. I do believe both are currently available, and you can get them. Yes, stare them down! Have them stand on your shelf and stare down viciously at each other. Roar! But I love that they did these. Like, even though these aren't brand new models or brand new releases or anything, they are advertising Horus Heresy, which does have something new coming, and I can't wait. Also, I need them to make that as an actual terrain piece. Like, hold on. We gotta go back. Okay, because you guys see this, right?
Into the super dangerous toxic pits.
The super dangerous toxic pit! With its very clearly just bubbles. It's just bubbles, and I love it. But I need this toxic pit to be turned into an actual functioning terrain piece that I can put bubbles in and have a little motor that creates this effect. Specifically for my 40k games and my Horus Heresy games. I need it for, you know what? We can have it work for Age of Sigmar and Fantasy Battles as well, because I feel like you could easily make this into just like demonic goop, or it could be like warpstone energy or something for the Skaven. I don't know. I feel like you can make it work, but I need this. I need this. I need this desperately.
Toxic pits!
Toxic pits! So good.
Warmaster Horus and Rogel Dorn are available now from the Horus Heresy Collection.
From the Horus Heresy Collection. They are very good, and they do have actual terrain pieces, which is very, very cool. Now, the final commercial that I want to showcase is this last one here, which is an actual, like, pretending like you're on, like, doing a campaign, which, again, I absolutely love. I absolutely love this. Chitonia.
At war. A world where treachery reigns supreme. A world besieged. Descend into the world.
It looks so good. I don't know what terrain they're using for this in like the background. If they made like custom pieces, if it's CG, what? But I need it. I need it to actually be released so that I can put it with my action figures and make them look even cooler and like on display and everything. Looks so good.
the vengeful wrath of the 7th Legion. No one can escape the Emperor's vengeance. Lay siege to your senses.
Lay siege to your senses.
Lay siege to Cathonia.
Cathonia!
The siege of Cathonia. Rated X for excommunicated.
Rated X for excommunicated. Okay, so the thing that I love about this one is just one, it's cheesy, it's great. I love that it's an actual campaign, and I want to give them huge kudos for not, and I don't think Armageddon would have been a thing in the Horus Heresy.
Nope.
But like, they could have easily just been lazy and threw Armageddon in there. Because they've already been having a focus on Armageddon anyways, right? Like, that is canonically a focus right now for 40k. The fact that they didn't be lazy and they actually made it a separate location that's probably relevant to the Horus Heresy way more than Armageddon would be because it didn't happen yet. I'm so glad that they didn't just go with Armageddon. Like, I have had such an issue with how often we have gone back to that gosh darn planet. And I'm so glad that we didn't do it for this joke commercial for these action figures to advertise the Horus Heresy. Now, I really hope that you guys enjoy these commercials because really the whole point was I want to showcase them. I thought they were really fun, and I really want Games Workshop to do more commercials like this, or at minimum for JoyToy to keep doing commercials for this. Now, while they did advertise these two specific ones, the Cathonia one and the one we just watched, the
Chthonian.
The Chthonian and the War Master Emperor Praetorian one with Dorn and Horus. Like, those were advertising the specific JoyToy action figures. That's why they're focusing, as you can see right here, on Dorn and, Horus, of course, in this particular ad. But this was just to hype up the new edition of Horus Heresy, which is what we're going to talk about next. Hey guys, it's just me and Shay here jumping into the video to remind you to hit that subscribe button, as well as to smash that like button if you've been enjoying the content with us today, because I really like having Shay on, and if you want to see her come back, you should definitely subscribe. Now, if you want even more content with us, you can check the links below. We have links to both our safe for work content, as well as our spicier content, so there's plenty for you to explore. Now, let's go ahead and get back to the video. Horus Heresy is coming. We don't have an official release date yet, at least not one that has been officially announced. Although I have seen rumors online that we are going to be getting the brand new Saturnine box set this month. Probably late this month is my expectation, and from what I've seen of the leaks, that tracks. But I do want to talk about some of the things that GW has in addition to the Saturnine box coming up, including the various books that are going to be the supplemental rules for everybody's armies going forward as things transition into the new edition, which you can see here. They are the Liber. We have the Liber Astartes, the Liber Heretic, the Liber Auxilia, the Liber Mechanicum, and the Liber Questorius. So that covers our Loyalists, our Heretics, our Imperial Guardsmen, our Mechanicus, and of course, the Knights. Now, you might be looking at this list, and if you are a Custodes player, and you're like, man, I really like the Talons of the Emperor, I don't see them listed here. Well, you're correct. They have not officially announced the book yet for the Custodians, but don't worry. The Talons of the Emperor are getting a PDF update. In fact, it's coming out this month so that you can use your Custodians and the Sisters of Silence in Horus Heresy currently, if you have those models available, which I expect some of you probably do, as the Custodians are extremely cool, and who wouldn't want to collect our golden boys? So I expect some of you will be really excited to hear that there are currently PDF rules available for you to use and play with for this new edition to get you started. Now, you are going to be getting a Liber book down the line that will cover, as I mentioned, the Sisters of Silence and the Custodians, but it is not out yet, and that's coming later. We also have a digital download, which basically is a timeline for various downloads that they are releasing as Horus Heresy comes out. Now, I am expecting, because if we look at this timeline that is currently on screen, we are getting the Legacies of Age of Darkness PDF, which is a PDF that is just basically getting you going into the new edition, and the Talons of the Emperor army list in July. And we have an anticipated release date for sometime this month. So I really do think we're going to get it just before this month ends. August has the various army lists for the militia, the Imperial army list. So that's coming out in August. It's kind of light. It's kind of light, but I think that's because everybody's going to be focusing on the fact that they finally got their hands on the Saturnine box and they're building up all those beautiful new dreadnoughts and beautiful new mechs. And I just can't wait. Oh my God, they're so chunky. They're so chunky. And we have a couple more things to talk about in regards to new releases because they did give us a little bit of a preview of miniatures, which we'll get to in a second. But I do want to call out the Journal Tactica. If you want even more from the new Horus Heresy, to add new rules in, to add expansions and everything that you could possibly want for Horus Heresy, the Journal Tactica is coming. There will be a series coming out and there'll be 48 pages long each book. It's going to have a lot of content in it. I think it's pretty cool. I mean, they always do this. They always do these supplemental rule books and everything so that you can do campaigns and various other stuff. And that's what it sounds like this is going to be. So very cool to see it's coming. But I want to take a look at some of the additional new models we were going to be getting. Because some of this we've seen, some of these we saw during the big preview release of the Saturnine box set. Like our Mark II Assault Marines. We've seen them already, and we may have already seen a little bit of a preview of our Mark III Breachers as well, but I still think they look really cool. Like, just look at the giant, like, it's so big. How does he not fall backwards? It's like, it just must weigh so much. Maybe it's a very light metal, actually, and you know what? It's a Space Marine, never mind. He's just extremely, extremely, extremely strong. I don't know why I'm asking this question, but I keep feeling like this man is gonna fall over as I look at that giant jetpack on his back. But we also have the sick as hell Fellblade Super Heavy Tank, which I just think looks great in this Iron Hands like color scheme. It just, that silver is so sharp. It legitimately looks like metal and I love it. This model is not metal. It is plastic. But that paint job really makes it look like it's an actual metal tank. And I am just blown away by that. So we've got a lot of cool stuff coming for Horus Heresy. I expect we will be getting that box set sometime around, I don't know, according to what I've seen on rumors, nothing official, of course, July 26th, perhaps? Who knows? But if that is the case, I expect I will probably be getting that, I don't know, early August is my hope, and working on some models here in the future because they look so good and I cannot wait. We're not done with Warhammer news yet. Oh no, we have a brand new play mode in Space Marine 2, and I want to showcase it because it looks fun as hell. I love siege modes. They are really great. I like them because it's just an endless horde and you get to go until you die. And that's exactly what is being introduced in Space Marine 2. And it looks really, really cool. I really want to try this out. I haven't played Space Marine 2 in a while, basically since its release, and I mostly did the campaign, but I didn't really do too much of the co-op or anything like that, or any of the like cross-play. But this siege mode looks really cool, and like I said, I enjoy these kinds of modes because I find them to be a fun little challenge to see how long I can last, and then I can improve myself to see if I can last longer. That's the whole gist behind these things, on its way. And I really, really like that. I also like that you can actually call them reinforcements, that it's a mixed group. It's not just Space Marines. You get to have Titans and Guardsmen and potentially maybe down the line, who knows. But at least Guardsmen and the Space Marines and Titans in there. Or at least Dreadnoughts. I don't think they were actually Titans. I think it was the Dreadnoughts I was seeing. But they look spectacular. I mean, just look at how cool these models look. It's... Okay, when I complain sometimes, I'm on a pause actually, as we look at these insane details that they've put on these models because they've given us upgraded skins for various chapters. We got White Scars now, the Blood Angels are getting some more cosmetics. It's great, I'm loving it. But can we just like, look at the detail on this bolter, okay? Look at it. It is intense. I want to see this kind of detail come into the models because we've seen it a little bit. Like we've seen it a little bit on some of the really fancy characters. But I feel like I would love to see, and it doesn't even have to be this level of detail, because this is main character levels of detail, right? Because it's the player character. You want them to look super fancy. But I feel like we could add a little bit of some of this embellishment to our basic boys when it comes to specifically 40k. I actually think Games Workshop is doing an exceptional job right now in the small details on their Horus Heresy figures, as well as the Age of Sigmar figures. I think the Age of Sigmar figures have an insane amount of detail and get a lot of like filigree and random like ornamental stuff that maybe we don't see on the 40k things as much. And I really just, I want to see this. I want to see that level of detail back, because while obviously back in the day, in the 80s and 90s and early aughts, there were limitations to the levels of detail they could put in their plastic sculpts. I get that, and I acknowledge that they weren't as detailed as this back then, but the artwork was, and I still felt like they tried to capture it a bit more. Maybe this is just like nostalgia goggles clouding my like vision, but that's what I feel like. And so I just want to see that back. Just look at the Blood Angels details. I want them. Also, successor chapters. Yeah, love seeing that. I love seeing all of just everything that they're doing cosmetics in this game is really cool and very fun.
This battle may be lost.
And also the gameplay is killer. So just like, honestly, if you haven't tried Space Marine 2 yet, you really should. You really should. It's a great game. I can't recommend it. It's on pretty much, or I cannot recommend it enough. Sorry. I cannot recommend it enough. And it's currently available on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, and PC. So it's pretty much on most consoles, unless you are strictly a, like, I guess, Nintendo player, because I don't think it's on the Switch or anything like that. But it's available pretty much everywhere else. So if you haven't checked out Space Marine 2 yet, definitely do so, and maybe try out the Siege mode. Our next story is about a law in Quebec, Canada that is impacting hobby stores. Let's watch the video.
It's a mythical battle between goblins and giants, explained in an unusual language, Fringlish.
Fringlish. I actually did not know that was the
seamless
name for the combo
integration of English and French, and it's awesome. It's part of what our community is.
But at this hobby shop in Saint-Marthe-sur-le-Lac, an even bigger fight is brewing.
I realized that about 90% of my shop is illegal.
That's because products like this are made abroad.
And just to explain very briefly, and then we'll talk about this more in the video as well, but the products have to be in the French language. The majority language on the boxes must be French in Quebec, according to this law. And hobby products,
and the
as you can see,
packaging is primarily
and probably
in
know
English.
if you are a
Right now,
hobbyist,
we do
are
have a
predominantly
bit
in
of
English.
French on the top of the box here. We have Intercesseur d'Assaut.
At BD Cosmos in Laval, it's a
The
similar
fact
story.
that this is becoming
This
a
is their
problem
branded
is
paint
wild
line.
to me. I have never heard of this.
It's only in English.
Julian
yeah,
Vasquez
Games
says
Workshop
about
products are
30%
majority
of his
in
store,
English.
including
Sure, they
games,
have some
cards,
French
and art
language
supplies,
material
would be
inside
in
the box and a
violation
little
of
bit
Bill
on the outside.
96.
I would have
majority of
to
it?
liquidate the
No.
entire line, or close up
Liquidate it
that
all?
portion of the store
That's
to
crazy.
Quebec customers and only sell online to the rest of Canada.
The store owners say these materials simply aren't available in French, and
Which is very
under state
true.
language laws
Which is very true, and
wouldn't
they're
be
not
available
going
to
to become
customers
available
here.
in French
There's
just
no
because
way
of this.
they're going to make a box for Quebec, which
See?
represents a tenth of 1% of the Western world.
So for many hobbyists,
Find
It's
a new
so
hobby.
wild. Like, and
these retailers are asking for an
My
exemption
mind is
to the bill,
blown.
saying much like
When I heard about
bookstores,
this,
it's a cultural
when I
industry.
heard this article
Without
come
a
out in, like,
reprieve
this
for
video,
stores
I was
like
like,
Boutique
what is going
Tabletop,
on?
it would be
how
a
is this
fatal
even possible?
I'm closed. I'm closed. If I have to do that, it's just not possible. I've survived
And I don't
COVID.
wanna see-
I've survived
I don't wanna
floods,
see all the stores in Quebec,
and
Canada
now
close. That would
the
be
end of it.
wild.
That'd be really sad.
Unfortunately, the repercussions that it's going to have on our little community are massive.
My main concern is that my hobby will be unattainable in Quebec. I won't be able to have access
I am
to
also
this
concerned
product.
about this.
which for these players would be game over. Kelly Gregg, CTV News, Saint-Marthe-sur-le-Lac.
It is genuinely a wild thing, and I am very curious. Like, if there's anybody in Canada, in my community, who is maybe dealing with this, who has heard of this, I can't believe it. Like, because these people are correct. You can go to any hobby store. I don't care where in the world you go into a hobby store. 80% of the games in that store are probably going to have English labeled boxes, because the majority of board games and miniature games and all of that are published and produced predominantly in English-speaking countries. Like, it's not all. It is definitely not all. And they definitely support other languages, because I've opened enough Gunpla boxes, enough Games Workshop boxes, Tamiya model kits, etc. They have foreign language, documentation in them. And hell, the Tamiya kits and the Gunpla models actually have Japanese first and then English and then it's other languages, because obviously it's made in Japan. So the predominant language that's being used is Japanese. And I'm curious, not only is this going to affect game stores, like these people, it's also going to affect anybody that's selling Gundam or Gunpla, because they're not going to be able to do it. Because heck, most of the Gunpla boxes, the boxes aren't even in English. They're just in Japanese. And you are just having to figure it out for yourself. They do, I think, have some English text on some of the boxes.
English releases.
The English releases. But, I get a lot of import releases at local stores where I'm from, and the boxes are just in Japanese. And so it's a weird situation, and I do not know what has spawned Quebec to have this law coming into effect or having it on the docket or anything. But it's a very interesting one, and I'd love to know your opinion. Is this something that you have personally experienced? Have you been in another country that also has similar laws to this, and it really restricts your ability to get hobby products? Or is this totally new, you've never heard of this before, and you think it's totally crazy like I do? Because I don't understand how they could possibly get away with this, because I feel like commercial products they're so global now. They're so global, it's not going to be just in one language. And I feel like you can't expect it to be in necessarily your native language, I guess, unless you are in, I don't know, is this just an English speaking country problem where I don't understand it because English is my predominant language and I don't have this problem, even though I do buy a lot of import products. So I buy tons of things that are in non-English and I read them and look at them all the time. I have plenty of comics that are entirely in French that I cannot read, and I have tons of comics and manga that are entirely in Japanese that I can't read. That doesn't discourage me from enjoying them or buying them, because I still love the artwork and I can insinuate well enough from the artwork what is going on. And so it's just a really weird thing for me, and I'd love to know your opinion down in the comments. Last but certainly not least, we have some Sonic Secret Lair magic cards to talk about. And
Gotta go fast!
Gotta go fast! Chaos Cultist is so hyped. And honestly, I am too, because I think these cards look really cool. So there are 3 Secret Lair sets coming out for Sonic, 2 which are repeats and have already been seen, but they're getting new card updates, and we'll look at those in a second. But this is the main one, Friends and Foes. This is brand new. We've not seen these ones before. And there are about 6 or so cards. 8 cards, actually. Can I do math? 7. It's 7. I can't do math. 7 cards that we're going to take a look at here. Super State. Knuckles the Echidna. Look at him. Look at him. He's so good. I love Knuckles. Amy Rose actually looks fantastic. I'm not a big fan of Amy Rose as a character. She's fine. I don't dislike her or anything, but she's not my favorite of the female characters. I am much more a Saturday morning cartoon Sonic fan with Sally, but she's not official anymore, I don't think. So sad face about that.
Very gone.
Very gone. So Amy, great. Not my favorite, but this card looks sick. I actually really like the art on the Amy Rose card. Dr. Eggman knocks it out of the goddamn park. He has the best looking card in my personal opinion. He looks fantastic. I love the art here. Miles Tails Prower is, it's Prower. I always thought it was Power.
I missay it.
Oh, understood. Okay, Miles Tails Prower looks amazing as well. He's super cute. Shadow is probably my second favorite card. I think Knuckles is my third. Eggman's my first. Shadow is my second. And then fourth is Sonic, because I actually just think the Sonic art looks fantastic. He is great. I love that blue hedgehog, but I will admit, I do kind of like Shadows and Knuckles more, and I definitely like Eggman so much. So much. It's so good. Okay, so that is the Sonic and Friends. The cards look amazing. Love the full art designs. I'm really hoping we can get our hands on these. We also have the Secret Lair Turbo Gear, which, like I said, came out previously, but is getting new art. So these are some of the new art pieces, and they look fantastic. Knuckles gloves, he's punching people. We got some air shoes, the egg hammer, the Pico hammer, and power sneakers. Classic. Love it. And honestly, I love the energy in this art. It looks great. And I think the artists that they're doing on this, or at least to me, it looks like what the current Sonic comic looks like. So either these people are very big fans of that or potentially legitimately working on it. And I think it looks fantastic. Like, I just love the energy in this Power Sneaker drawing. It looks so good. Like, those lines, the energy that's in it, there's so much motion for them being legitimately static.
This is by Jack Teagle.
Okay, yeah, I thought so. I thought Jack Teagle and I think Mike Burns as well. I feel like I recognize.
Rings a bell to me.
Yes. So again, really cool stuff. Loving that they're doing this. We also have Tornado Sonic's Biplane and Eggman Pawn, which honestly, great artifact. Great artifact token. Love this. It's super cute. Then additionally, we have the Secret Lair Sonic Chasing Adventure. This is another one that we've seen before, but is getting new art. The Generous Gift, the Open Armory, Fabricate. Love that. Deadly Dispute is probably my favorite of the pieces from this particular set. But Unexpected Windfall with Knuckles looking badass also looks great. Also, he has like little birds and stuff around him, which is just super cute. Soul Ring, because of course there's a Soul Ring, is Sonic with a lovely rainbow ring around him. And of course a treasure, which is a gold ring. Makes sense. These all very much fit Sonic. They all very much fit Magic. And I personally am very excited to get my hands on them. And you might be asking yourself, Angela, when can you get your hands on them? Well, they go up for sale starting July 14th at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So hopefully Chaos and Cultist and I will be able to get our hands on these. I would like to be able to get all 3 of the various sets. They're not terribly expensive. Thankfully, the Friends one is the most expensive. If you get the holo version, it's $50. But the other ones, I believe, are ranging between like $24.99 and $39.99, depending on whether or not which foil version or non-foil version you get. So these are going to become available. Let me know what your favorite is down in the comments below. And that is going to take us out of the news for this month. Thank you so much for everybody for joining me in today's news episode. I really love doing this, so thank you so much for watching them. I hope we covered some things that you found interesting. Let me know what other things you might want to see me cover in future news episodes, other topics, other games, etc. And before I head out, I want to give a huge thank you to not only my patrons, but also my YouTube members. Without your guys' support, we would not be able to do this. So thank you very much for all of your support, all of your kindness, in making it so we can keep doing content like this. All right, guys, I've been Angela. Have a wonderful rest of your day and an especially lovely hobby night. Bye, everybody.